Hello, and we're back to talk a bit more about Clubhouse. I have gone over the mindset of the interrupter. So now I want to get to some ideas and solutions for working with the interrupter. Go check out the background for the interrupter if you haven't been there to that video already on this channel. The interrupter really is someone who comes into the space and got invited up to speak, and then they just start talking about what they want to talk about. It is probably off topic. They may go on and on for too long, and they're just not following along with what's happening with the group. They don't understand the guidelines that's been established. They didn't hear it, or they weren't paying attention. So as the leader and moderator of the room, definitely come and step in, help them out, and stop them if they are participating in a way that really isn't gelling and making sense for everyone in the space. But let me take a step back. Even before you open the room, take some time to sit with the idea and the inspiration for the space. What do you want the vibe, the tone to be? What's the agenda if you have one? Really, I'm saying how much planning is going to make you happy for this room that you're having. Is it going to be a lot of planning or a very little planning? Is this like something that is organized well in advance, or is this an idea that you're just coming up with and you are going to let it fly and see where it takes you? And you're also thinking about, is it going to be a team of mods that you want to work with, or is it a solo led room? Just a few things to consider. Now, when you do open the room, the important control to think about is the hand raising. It's defaulted to on or open when you open the room. Do you intend to keep it open for the most part, or do you want it off sometimes, or turn it on and off? The cool thing about the Clubhouse room is really accepting new speakers to join you and invite people up to join you, or allow them to raise their hand and then accept them to join the speaking stage. You just never know who will come through and who you will meet. And that's the fun part about it. Some of them may become your friends forever. I also want to note that it really makes the most sense for the top left, the leader of the space, or the person next to them to, they can talk about this separately before they open the room, or in the back chat now that they have it, to make the decision about one of them being the person who would control the flow of adding speakers into the conversation, because you will likely be the person going over the context and what's happening in the space and doing the reset to make sure that everyone has the opportunity to get recentered into the topic. Now, sometimes you will, when you open the room, it's exciting and people are coming in and you just invite them to join the conversation, and so a few people may come up. So it's just important to really acknowledge them by name, saying hello to them, thanking them for joining you, and maybe letting them know, hey, please just hang in there for a little bit while I go over the inspiration for the room, or let them know where you are in the space, if you're somewhere along in the middle, or so that you can recap where you have been in the discussion and where you are now, and then where you are intending to go next. Also, to have the chance to explain the format of the space, like, is this a PTR room, is this a popcorn room, I have also made a couple of videos on those topics, so go check them out, PTR or popcorn, if you haven't gotten to those. Another way to think about this room setup is that this is your house, your living room, or your shop. It's you are hosting this conversation because you really care about this topic. Hopefully you can drive us forward in some way to reach some outcome so that we can gather some highlights and bring some of these topics to the next meeting that we will have. Here now I want to share 3 guidelines that I love to use. As much as I can, I try to include this in my reset, which is number 1 is to be concise, because we're here to work together to build a dialogue together. Number 2, be respectful, be kind, and make room for each other to speak. Number 3, let's not jump to the advice giving, because it's a lot more fun and enjoyable for everyone to hear each other's stories and lived experience when you talk from your perspective, sharing in an I language, like this is what happened for me, and so on and so forth. It's all a part of creating this participatory space. So yes, find these guidelines in your own words and put them into practice in your room. Now, for someone who is lost and deviates from the conversation, it's helpful to come in and express and encourage them to go off and start their room on the topic that they really want to talk about. Likely what's happening is they got inspired by the topic that you set up, and now it led them to think about this other subtopic or side topic that they care about. So remind them to find collaboration in the space, message some people, see if they can collaborate on this next topic. Sometimes also it works to go into a person's bio and see if you're not leading the room, that maybe it makes sense, if you have been having a back and forth inside the room and it's off topic, that you initiate a start a rooms together option with this person, because maybe it makes sense for you, the two of you, to have a one-to-one, a mini breakout session away from the main group, main conversation, and then come back to rejoin later. It comes a time when one of us will have to come and step in and be the bouncer. Just really, it's about going into people's profiles who are in the audience to check them out before you invite them and bring them onto the stage. Hopefully they have some sort of link to their other social profiles, that they have something written out about them for why they're on Clubhouse, because this is how you'll know that they're here to look for community and connection. You may just want to get a few people involved who will be able to look out for people who are disruptive, and take the action to move someone off stage if they are disruptive, and explain to them why you did that. See if you are able to re-engage them and bring them back up onto the stage. They're just really there to seek attention. Who knows, they may be hurting in their real life. The next step to take is to move them out of the room, or to report recent speaker to the top right. There's the 3 dots where you can go to do that. The goal really is to make the room enjoyable, protect the energy and the vibe of the space for everyone who is there to listen in and talk about this topic at hand. So how do you feel now that I've talked about this interrupter and interruptions? What are you up to on Clubhouse? How are things going for you? Hit the subscribe button to go on this journey with me as I continue to talk more about Clubhouse and beyond. I am Katie Mason here at modernchi. You know it, the conversation is never over, so see you at the next one.